It's your boy Jaydub, and I'm back once again for a hot video. Let's get it. And the news of the day, or shall I say the news of the week, everyone's been talking about it. We all been talking about it. We know what it is, and it is Microsoft's purchase of Bethesda, or ZeniMax rather, and that is finally went through. It is finally done. Microsoft has a ton of new studios, ton of new teams, a lot of IPs, id Tech and stuff like that. So we're gonna discuss that. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Where does that leave the Xbox console? Where does that leave Microsoft in general in gaming? We're gonna get into some of these subjects today. For the most part, I want to say congratulations to Phil Spencer, Aaron Greenberg, and all those executives over at Microsoft. They pull out a big W for them. And when I say a big W, I mean these guys did invest for 7 whole years. Well, 3 years rather, but we're talking about last generation. With the Xbox One, you had the Xbox One console came out. In 2013, I think around 2015, the guys stopped, investing. They stopped making games. They canceled a lot of stuff, and we kind of know the history about that. We know what was the aftermath of that. So they've been pretty much, I would say, 3 years behind the curve, behind Nintendo and behind Sony when it comes to getting games out there. The next thing we need to discuss, with that being said, is, well, how can they come up? How can they get those 3 years back? Does this really change the game? Well, guess what? A lot of ponies been saying Xbox has no games, they have no development studios, they have nothing going for them. Well, now they instantly have a developer that can crank out a bunch of games. Some good, some bad, some in between. But together, it's, something is better than nothing. And Bethesda is a big deal. It's not a little small thing. These guys, they do have a bunch of IPs. They just released Doom Eternal. That turned out to be pretty good. I think Starfield is another one. We don't know what that game is. The graphics and the engine is based off of Fallout 4. So we can assume it's going to be something similar to that, except in space. But again, this is good. This is a W. This is something where a lot of people was wondering, what was Microsoft going to do? They've recently launched 2 brand new consoles, the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S. And everyone was wondering, what are you going to do, guys? What are you going to do? How are you going to be able to maintain the type of games and the type of quality that gamers are expecting, or at least on par with Sony and Nintendo? Well, this helps. I don't think it really changes the scope that much where it's going to make Nintendo or Sony kind of perk up. But as far as getting a lot of games into Game Pass real quickly, you can see what happened yesterday. They decided to allow all the Bethesda games to be on the Xbox Game Pass. And at the end of the day, I think that's where this thing is going. If you noticed yesterday doing that event or doing the roundtable, Microsoft was very, how shall I say, they were very cautious about bringing up Xbox. They really focused on Game Pass. And I think in the future, probably in the near future, the Xbox console itself may go away. Right now, it's about playing on any and everything that's Game Pass related. It doesn't necessarily have to be console. It doesn't have to be PC. It could be mobile. It could be anything. I think rumors have it there's TVs coming up. So again, Xbox itself is taking a back seat, and Game Pass is the name of the game. That's where it's all heading, and I'm not mad at that. I don't think Microsoft can compete in the mobile realm. I think that's Nintendo's baby. That's where it rules. I think on the high-end, big blockbuster, AAA IP, I honestly don't think Microsoft can compete with that. I think Sony got that sold up. We can see with all the Game of the Year winners and contenders that they have, I think Microsoft is trying to carve out its own area, and I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. But again, shout out to them for doing that. This shows a big change. Phil Spencer has been ridiculed in the past for talking about single player games, not being a main focus, not really cutting it anymore. He has said, exclusives don't really matter anymore, stuff like that. Now he's kind of backtracking on it, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Bravo, Phil. There's nothing wrong with backtracking when you see your strategies not working, right? Focus on Game Pass. That's where it's all about. Getting a ton of games for, $10, $15 a month. That's going to rally them in. Eventually, we're going to see a price hike. We know that, guys. We know that. And it's fine. It's okay. As long as they continue to crank out some good games. Now, think about it. We got Halo coming this year. We got Starfield. I think it's coming this year. I don't know. We haven't really seen much from the game. We haven't seen anything outside of a old trailer from last year that really, last year, the year before, that didn't really show much of anything. So, but we do know, Bethesda's pretty reliable, shall I say. I'm not going to say that they crank out a bunch of goodies, but they crank out, some decent stuff. More than decent. We're looking forward to seeing what Halo Infinite, what that's going to do. Can they rekindle that energy that was lost after they showed the trailer last year? I don't know. We shall see. But anyway, on the Xbox front, everything is looking up, much better than it was last generation as far as starting off. Yeah, it was pretty bad. They launched 2 consoles with no games. And yeah, it does suck that we're going to have to wait quite some time to get some new stuff. But guess what? That track record is there. The road has been paved. The plan is in motion. And we're just going to have to wait. Unfortunately, waiting is part of the game. These guys are not going to be able to recover. I mean, they sat dormant for, 3 years? So guess what? It's probably going to take 3 years for them to recover and get some going. The only downside to that is I don't see Sony or Nintendo just sitting around waiting, right? They've continuously started investing, started buying up stuff, got brand new IP coming. They have a ton of games on their roadmap. So I don't think that Nintendo and Sony are going to be bothered by this. But this does give the Xbox gamers something to be happy for when it comes to Xbox. It shows that Microsoft is not yet ready to pull out of gaming, right? Now, as far as the hardware, the console itself, I do think the writing is on the wall. Phil has been trying to get guys within the last year or two. He's been trying to get guys warmed up to the idea of a post-console gaming experience. A post-console gaming experience. Whatever that means, it's just like, look, the Xbox hardware may not be there in the future, but you're still able to play on PC. You're still able to play on mobile. And who knows? You may be able to play Game Pass, on a Nintendo Switch or a PlayStation in the future. We don't know. And Phil Spencer was pretty dodgy when it came to those exclusives. We do know they will have exclusives in the future. We just don't know what games. Will it be smaller games? Will it be bigger games? We just don't know. Depends on who you talk to. If you talk to an Xbox fan, he's going to tell you the last few PlayStation games that's going to come out, Deathloop and Doom 3 VR and there's one more game, that Tokyo Ghostwire. That's it. That's going to be the Mohicans. But again, Phil gave himself an out. He did say some legacy stuff, and so we assume Elder Scrolls Online and stuff like that. And again, it's all up to speculation. Phil and Microsoft reserve the right to renege at any point in time. Money talks, bullshit walks. Feelings don't matter, right? Again, bravo for Microsoft. Bravo for you guys for doing what you had to do. I wish you would have did it sooner, but better late than ever. Shout out to PlayStation Nation for constantly doing what they needed to do. And that's reminding Microsoft where gaming started and what gaming deserves. It deserves high quality content, not just a bunch of hardware. And PlayStation guys did push that. They did push that envelope, and they did ridicule Microsoft and Phil Spencer for delivering mediocre games and a lack of quality content. Whereas it seems like a lot of people in the Xbox fan base pretty much decided, that everything was okay. Phil was going to work it out. We don't need exclusives. They were anti-consumer and all kind of stuff, right? So we've seen that. But one thing is, the Xbox community, they pride themselves in their exclusives. They pride themselves in their games and high quality stuff, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine, as they should. Anyway, if you're an Xbox fan, I think you need to go and talk to your local PlayStation fan and thank him for holding Microsoft's feet to the fire so you can have some exclusives. Bravo, PlayStation guys. Bravo. There's nothing wrong with sharing, sharing that spirit of exclusivity and high quality and game of the year winners and contenders. You're supposed to have high expectations. So bravo, bravo. Anyway, it's your boy Jaydub back at it once again. Let me know what you think. Let me know. Is it okay? Is everything going to finally work out for Xbox and Microsoft and Phil Spencer? Is Phil the guy now, or do you guys think he should go? Do you think that this evens the score? Do you think that Microsoft is done? That's all they have to do, or do you think they have to do some more stuff? How does this going to change your gaming experience? Are you going to go out and buy Xbox now, or are you going to stick with PC, or are you just going to stick with PlayStation, PC, PlayStation, and Switch? Let your boy know. Anyway, you can catch me on Twitter at JDubCity16. I'm always keeping you guys laughing and falling on the floor with the gifs and the memes. You know what I mean? And I am out.